Good time zones, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the beautiful Daytona International Speedway right here on the Racers Elite Network for the Friday night full send Super Speedway series. I'm Mike Taylor up here in the booth. Alongside me is the master of chaos himself, Dakota LaRue, and we have some awesome racing coming for you guys here at Daytona. Before we get down to the nitty gritty, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take a look at your current championship standings. Jonathan Stidham is out front with 159 points, but only, just about 5 points back sits Kensley Smith for Driving Extreme Incorporated. Stephen Luttrell, he's sitting back 3 points back from Smith with 151 points, who was also tied with Andrew Teft for that third spot. Fifth is going to be Ryan Warp, followed by Aaron Roth, Joseph Bonner, Blake Beacon, Kirby Wainscott, Richie Joplin will round out your top 10. Matt Miller, Curtis Ecker, Jack Kelly, Steve Castle, Timothy Eisburn, Austin Sale, Brett Bray, and Mike Fudge will round out your top 20. Your top 18. To round out your top 20, it's going to be Steve Sizemore and Trevor Fettig. Right now, Dakota, we've got drivers down here on track. And as always, I'm going to ask you who you got your eye on today.
Man, with these next-gen cars, I feel like there is as much skill involved in the next-gen car when it comes to these super speedways as some of the other tracks. So it's a little harder to pick, per se, who I think is going to win. But we do got our typical people, like Kinsley Smith, normally near the front at these super speedway top races. Andrew Teft seems to always find himself up there. Matt Mettler's been doing decent. A lot of the field, honestly, so it's really hard to pick one single person. You probably got to ask me about halfway through the race here.
Well, I can definitely do that for you, as we are excited to get this thing underway.
Blake Beacon is currently channeling his inner Ricky Bobby as he's going backwards after getting the pole.
Not exactly sure what he's doing there. But let's
He's
take
getting
a
practice.
Yeah, that is true. But Joe Bonner Kirby Wainscott, he's coming through the tri-oval now in that KFC number 10 machine. He's going to place it third. Joe Bonner, he's currently out on track in his number 11 machine. We do have a new number for Joe Bonner. He traded in that number 53 for the number 11 LNG Power Washing Toyota. So Joe Bonner looking to end out his season strong in that number 11 machine as he comes.
Yeah. Quick question. Sorry to interrupt you. Do we got a new person in the field? I believe Robert Garcia.
Yeah, Robert Garcia in that number 13 machine. He is new.
Welcome to Racers Elite, Robert. If you're in the broadcast here, glad to see you.
Yep, we're going to go ahead and stick here with Joe Bonner as he makes his way out of turn number 2. He's got to knock just about a tenth off of his lap time here if he wants to better his time. As Matt Mettler, he throws himself on top of the leaderboard in that number 311 machine. Wait.
Blake Beacon.
Well, I'm showing Matt is on. Oh, I don't know. All I know is Joe Bonner, he came around for a lap time of a 50.701. That'll sit him 7th. There it goes, Blake Beacon. He is now showing on top for me. Truth Hoke in that number 55 machine. He's got new colors on his race car this week. And he's going to currently put down a lap time of a 50.759.
And that is a very clean paint scheme.
Oh, yeah.
That'll look really good in a nighttime race here when the lights get shining down on it. You can really see it's kind of chromed out.
Oh, yeah. He's rocking out that Hardy's paint scheme right there.
And Britt Bray's car looking pretty good as well on that 6 machine.
Yeah, coming out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway here. He's looking to put down his first lap time. And he's going to put down a lap time of a 50.861. So he's got a while to go there on that one.
Yeah, but keep in mind with the first lap here, most of the time with these next gen cars, it's advantageous to run the outside on the first lap to pick up as much speed as you can for the second here.
Yep.
So hopefully,
Truth Hoke showing up third currently on the leaderboard. As Steven Castle in that number 1 machine is coming across the start finish line. And he's going to post a slow time of a 6:35. That's actually a pretty fast lap time for him, as Aaron Roth is coming out across the line to complete his second lap.
Yeah, where did Stephen Luttrell just come from? Holy.
Stephen Luttrell in that number 36 machine. He's not playing. We're back live.
All right, sorry about that, folks. We are back. Had a little bit of an issue up here in the booth. You know, the Wi-Fi just isn't being paid for at these tracks and isn't as good as it used to be. You know what I'm saying? But taking a look at YouTube chat here, we got to make sure Trading Paints is up to date. We got a Let's Go Boys from Runover Racing. Joseph Bonner saying, let's go LJG Racing. We got Blake Vicken in here saying, let's go Ryan and I. Happy birthday to Richie, even though he isn't here. Might be past his bedtime. But Stephen Luttrell going to be taking over pole here, as I believe the qualifying should be ending here. Less than a minute left, so anyone's going to go wants to go out and get a lap done. I don't think they're going to have quite enough time.
Yeah, that's right. We are closing in here. I'm just going through here to just reclosing things that like to pop up when I reboot my computer and I forget to go back and close out. So we shouldn't have any more problems now. We should be good to go until the end of this race. And
well, if you'd like, I'm sure you know how to, but I can walk you through how to make some of that stuff not pop up when you first got your computer on, if you'd like.
I've already done it so many times. Blake. Look at Blake Beacon's card.
Hold on. I gotta get to it here, bud. I gotta change the camera view. You know how it is. Sir, I don't think your wheel is connecting to the ground for some reason. We went from driving backwards to absolutely destroyed here. I'm not quite sure what happened. Rewind it. Take a long time to rewind, see what happened.
He's backing. Right now, guys, you guys are not missing any. Oh, okay. It's time to go racing. A lot of fun here early on. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take a look at your starting lineup for tonight's race right here on the Racers Elite Network. Starting on the pole,
waving to the crowd.
That number 36 of Stephen Luttrell. He'll be joined by Steve Sizemore in the 08 to his outside. Row number 2, you got Blake Vicken in his number 18 machine, and Matt Mittler in that number 31 Monster Energy drink to his outside. Row 3, Truth Hoke in the number 55 will be joined by Kirby Wainscott in that KFC number 10. Row number 4, that number 45 of Ryan Warp will be joined by the 6 of Brett Bray. Row number 5, driver that number 16 Cheez-It machine, Mike Fudge. He'll be joined by newcomer Robert Garcia. Row number 6, Steve Castle will be joined by the number 57 of Aaron Roth. Row number 7, Joe Bonner in his number 11 machine. He'll be joined by the 38 of Jack Kelly. Row number 8, Andrew Teft in his Hooters number 98 machine. He'll be joined by the Napa driver of Kensley Smith. Row number 9, Jonathan Stidham in his Craftsman number 42 will be joined by Grizzly driver number 50, Terry Fennell. Row number 10, and rounding out your field, it's going to be that 7-Eleven Detroit Lions machine of Trevor Fettig. And while we are getting ready to get going here today, let's go ahead and give these guys one more updated look.
Just to go over a little bit of track information here. Talladega Superspeedway is a 2.48
Daytona.
mile track. Oh, Daytona International Speedway, sorry about that, is a 2.48 mile track. I was thinking about the truck race I was going to do later at Talladega. Track temp's going to be 104 degrees, air temp about 79, 83% humidity, which will really slow these cars down quite a bit, surprisingly. And only about 5-mile-an-hour winds, so a really good day here for some racing. Very cool track temps for super speedway racing.
All right.
And Blake said that he was waving at the crowd.
Yep.
In response to what you said, by the way. So.
Alrighty. We have a very stacked field today here. 19 cars on tap. And any one of these drivers can win it. And, you know, as always, you know, we can always watch that number 98 of Andrew Teft in that 98 machine back in that 13th position. You know, but you
Blake,
also got,
I didn't know you were on.
you also
team.
got
No shit.
Stephen Luttrell in that number 36 machine. Oh, I apologize about that, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot to turn off my voice
Good luck,
chat.
guys.
Yeah, and I got the start here. I'm going to play the old Biggity Boogity here. All right, coming to the restart zone for the first time. Stephen Luttrell going to be leading us back to the green.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys!
As we are green flag right here at Daytona for the Full Send Super Speedway Series right here on the Racers Elite Network. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a lot of fun racing happening now for you as these cars get wounded up as they come through turns 1 and 2 here. That front pack quickly getting single file as we do have single file action between double wide action between Matt Miller and Stephen Castle in that number 1 machine.
Yeah, and I've seen a little bit of movement out of that front four already, so it looked like they were pushing pretty hard coming down the backstretch. But I got a feeling everyone's going to get spread out here and try to lock a few green flag laps. 80 laps is a long time with these super speedways.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we are really super excited to see how this one's going to play out here. You know, the championship standings is really close. You know, and so that makes this racing, you know, every single week that much more important as the drivers come out of turn number 2 here for the second time already. As it looks like we're trying to go single file throughout the entire field now as they make their way down the back straightaway. And they will go single file here on lap number 2. With just 2 cars left up top, it's going to be that number 6 and number 13 machine of Robert Garcia and Brett Bray. But now your entire field single file. Let the laps wind down is exactly what these drivers are thinking at this point in the race. No point in running hard as, you know, 80 laps, you know, that's what, 200 miles? So it's a very long way.
Give me 1
The
second
arc,
here.
yeah, 200, yeah. Because 100 is 250 miles, so yeah. pretty much they're running a ARCA Daytona race. As we see that outside lane starting to form, and it's being led by let's see if I can get the number 11 of Joe Bonner. He's actually out front leading that outside lane. And he's got the 08 of Steve Sizemore behind him. Kensley Smith behind him. And man, let me tell you what, right now that Joe Bonner machine, he's looking very strong with those 4 cars behind him. You can't go wrong with those cars. As you see that they're making their way around the outside now of Andrew Teft in that 98 machine, as they are starting to move up, and that's for the 7th position. Now they're up alongside Steve Castle, and now they've got their eyes set on that number 6 or the number 2. Who is that? Is that Fudge? Yeah, Mike Fudge in that number 2 machine that's dressed up all in Cheez-It.
Right now, Stephen Luttrell already up 2 bonus points for leading the lap and getting poles, so looking to keep that thing up front to try to get the most laps led as well, possibly. But a really good help from Blake Viken in that 18 machine. But that outside lane is starting to get a really good run here, as it looks like someone got shuffled out there. Not quite sure who that was.
It looks like the 08 of Steve Sizemore. He kind of got shoved out. As they are continuing to run 3 wide.
And it looks like most of this outside lane trying to drop back down to the bottom now that they gained a few spots here and getting resettled back out. That did kind of hurt the 11 car of Joseph Bonner, as he did lose a few positions, but ultimately a huge game for him. Kingsley Smith currently your biggest mover, up 10 spots in that 6th place.
You know, that doesn't surprise me out of Kensley, because I mean, he has a way with super speedways, and you know, I like to call him the Dale Earnhardt Jr. of Racers Elite, simply because when we come to super speedways, he always finds his way to the front.
Well, man, he might have that top secret motor or something, you know. They said they could never replicate that thing. Oh, we got a big wreck in the middle of the pack here.
Steve Castle's involved in this one. He's up against the wall. Andrew Teft, he's involved in that number 98 machine. He's currently stalled out down there in turns 1 and 2. I'm sorry, that's 3 and 4. So let's come back here and take a look, see what happened. Looks like this 98 got turned off the front end of that one machine and then right up in front of Jack Kelly. He had absolutely nowhere to go. And then Steve Castle, he got hit by a newcomer. I think that's the 08 actually of Steve Sizemore.
It looks like the 6 machine also caught a little piece of that at Burberry. I think you already said that, but
Yep.
and
Yeah.
tested 2 hard licks there.
Yep. Oh. You know, let's run on board with that number 6 machine. Going through all my cameras right now. Let's see here. Here it is. as we ride on board here with Brett Bray. Oh, absolutely nowhere to go.
And you can definitely tell he did try to slow down there, as you can hear the engine RPMs dropping.
Yep.
Blake Beacon, a little bit of issue in pits. Had to back up. It doesn't look like it's going to cost him any time, though.
Man, some really good race cars caught up in this one. You know, I don't get it. I don't get it, Dakota.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure, man.
I mean, I ain't got anything else running.
I've never had issues with my OBS, but I've had issues with iRacing lagging, so I'm honestly not sure. I've even started cutting my bit rate up and everything.
Yeah, I don't know. It's alright. We got it all figured out here. Alright, so Truth Hoke in that number 55 machine, he's going to be on the front row here for this restart. And he's going to be joined by Robert Garcia in that number 13 Toyota.
Yeah, and Garcia is a newcomer, so looking to get a little bit of TV time, as I like to call it, up there towards the front.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see.
The only downside... Oh, go ahead.
No, you're all good. Take it away.
Oh, the only downside is with them not pitting there, they're going to be off cycle. So if we do have one of these extended green flag runs that Racers Elite is known for, they're going to be in a bad situation here.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely got to be careful with that for sure. But Steven Luttrell and Blake Beacon, you know, they're both in the good seat, you know, if that does happen. So Truth and Garcia, they're going to want to start talking, you know, very quickly, you know, to see when they're going to want to come down here. Because, I mean, they can go just about, what, normally about 30 laps or so.
I believe it'd be about 30 or 40, depending on the fuel load and how much you're willing to save.
Yep. But pace truck is off, and we are ready to go back green flag racing here at Daytona International Speedway. Hoke Garcia will bring him back to the green flag. Garcia quickly getting down to that inside lane behind Truth Hoke, and that's going to put him right in front of Steven Luttrell. And Blake Beacon, he's going to be on the outside there with Ryan Wart and the 11 of Joe Bonner. Mike Fudge is out there as well. While everybody else is now back down on that inside lane. And of course, as I say that, they got one more person joining them to the outside. I believe that's going to be that 42 machine of Jonathan Stidham. So now we got 5 cars. No, made that 6 cars out there as Kensley Smith makes his way back to the outside. You know that I swear these guys like to prove that that I like to lie. Because now they're back down to 4.
Yeah, man, I've come to realize that if it don't happen for more than 2 seconds, I shouldn't bring it up. 'Cause as soon as I do, they change their mind. It never fails.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, Kensley Smith squeezing himself right there in front of Jack Kelly in that number 38 machine. I thought for sure Smith was going to go around there coming down, coming out of turn number 2.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Beacon there, that outside line did not get a good jump on the restart, and it's just falling apart. So he's falling back through the field. You see a couple of people taking a peek up there, but changing their mind.
Yeah. Blake Beacon out of Corpus Christi, Texas. Stuck all alone to the outside now. Nope, Ryan Warp is going to allow him down on the inside. As they are going to go ahead and run single file down the back straightaway. Of course, Terry Fennell in that number 50 has to jump out, and so is going to be Kensley Smith. But just like that, they're going to lose a couple of spots as Jack Kelly gets onto the inside of them here on the exit of turn number 4 and into the tri-oval here.
It seems like Hoke and Garcia is not worried about saving any fuel here, so potentially hoping for another caution, or maybe just wanting to work a little bit different strategy than everyone else.
Yeah. That's the one I was looking for. As we ride on board here with Aaron Roth in that number 57 machine. Sorry about the kiddo in the background.
For only 3 cars on the outside, they're holding pretty strong up there, trying to slow the bleeding as fast as they can. It does look like they got a 4th car is coming into line here.
Yeah, that Terry Fennell machine in that number 50. He's trying to make his way back up towards the front, as he is now moving up 8 spots as we've gone green flag. That outside lane's kind of died out just a little bit. They lost all their momentum currently, but that could also change in a heartbeat here. And now here they come, coming strong on the outside there with, as they get alongside of Brett Bray in that number 6 machine.
Yeah, that inside line's starting to get a little bit of separation between everyone, kind of slowing up the momentum there. As you see, Terry Fennell in that 50 machine on the outside starting to get a really good run, almost up to 4th place on the inside here. We got a 3rd car up there we got a car up there in the 3rd lane, decides to drop back down. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but that outside line getting a huge run coming down the backstretch. They're side by side with 3rd or 4th going into 3 and 4.
Yeah, that outside lane has really started to pick up its momentum as they work on the outside there of Aaron Rotha, that number 57 machine, as they are trying to now get alongside that 311 machine of Matt Metler, who's been glued to the back bumper of Stephen Luttrell all race long. You know, I'm looking at that 57 machine. He's got quite a bit of damage there on that front end of that Chevrolet, so that might hurt him if he tries to lead the pack at some point. So that's going to be something that he wants to try to come down pit road and get fixed up here. But as of right now, that outside lane is starting to fall back again. You know, we see Jack
Looks
Kelly.
like we're having a... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Jack Kelly and that 38 machine is starting to have some radio connectivity issues. That's something that we're not used to seeing out of Jack Kelly, as it seems like he keeps getting worse and worse here as the laps go on. But that outside lane has made it all the way up to that second place. And now for the race lead on the outside, Terry Fennell, he gets clear of that 55 machine, and so does Kensley Smith as they make their way here through turns 3 and 4. But here comes that inside lane trying to fight back, not able to get down there. So now your top 3 will clear them, and they're going to leave Blake Beacon to fend for himself now on the outside with Truth Hope on his inside.
And if Beacon could have been a little bit better sucked up to the third place car in that line, he did have room to drop down, just unfortunately. Everyone on the outside kind of abandoning it now, so he's going to be kind of a sitting duck yet again, just like he was on the last restart.
Yeah, Blake Beacon definitely having an issue trying to get himself out towards the front of this field. But now we've got cars going around to the outside being led by Steven Luttrell in that number 36 machine. He's trying to make something happen as they come out of turn number 4 to head back down here to the start-finish line, as we are now a quarter of our way through of this race. And now we're starting to wonder, you know, if Truth Hope and Garcia are now going to try to figure out something about saving all that fuel.
Yeah, they just now lost the lead here, so there's no chance they've been able to save a lot of fuel. You know, Garcia's been sitting second, so and he's been having to kind of push to help the inside line stay in the lead, so he's not really been able to save in the second position either.
Yeah.
So about 10 lap difference of fuel between them and everyone else on the field.
Yeah, this could definitely be very detrimental to their race if this continues to go green flag coming up when they do need a pit, probably here within the next 10 laps. So that's something that we're going to have to keep our eye on as Steven Luttrell in that number 6 machine is continuing to make his way up around the outside now of Garcia now. And he's going to abandon Steve Sizemore to the outside. And poor Blake Beacon, he finally gets back up there with him, and now he starts to fall back. Poor Blake Beacon.
Absolutely no help on that outside lane. And the reason why we keep bringing up fuel load here is because these cars cannot two-draft tandem like the older ones can. So you're really not going to be able to keep the same momentum you can as if you would have 3 to 4 cars. But they might get lucky and have a couple of takers to pits with them.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely possible, you know. I think for them to be safe, they need to have at least 3 other people go down with them. And so that's going to make a good 5-car draft. So if they can get at least 5, they might be okay. And so when the rest of the field comes down to pit, they should be able to come out with them and, you know, blend back in, you know, when the time comes. But that all depends on if they have at least 3 other drivers with them.
Yeah, and it's also going to depend on how many laps of fuel they do have left here. If they can make it to lap 40, which will be halfway, there's more of a chance of people come down with them. If they can only go 30 laps, I mean, they're kind of just not in a very good spot here, as everyone else is going to try to push it as far as they can to limit the amount of pits they have to make later.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things, you know, with this group is they like to push that limit. They want to see how far they can go. But then you also have Andrew Teft. He's like, you guys hold my beer because I'm going to show you how it's done. And he can outlast them for an extra lap. You know, we've seen that time and time again out of Andrew Teft. So, you know, it's going to be very interesting on how all this plays out.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Andrew, he is trapped a lap down here at the moment due to that earlier caution. So kind of in a bad spot. Really going to have to need a caution or some very good luck with fuel on his side here.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, so they are all continuing to run single file for the moment. Terry Pennell's being pushed by Kensley Smith in that number 15 machine, who's being pushed by the 11 of Joe Bonner. This front six right here, all the way back to Robert Garcia's, I apologize about that once again, ladies and gentlemen. No clue. I don't know, guys. But you guys didn't miss anything. Everybody's still running single file here, lap 27. And of course, as I say that, you do got one car trying to go to the outside, but he went ahead and came back down. As you guys see, Andrew Teft picking his nose out to the outside, but nobody's going with him, so he's going to fall back here to the end. All right. Well, now we've got two cars on that outside. It looks like possibly Steve Sizemore in that 08. Yes, Steve Sizemore in that 08 machine. He's trying to move his way forward with Matt Mettler behind him. But unfortunately, that two-car draft just is not going to work for them. But here comes help out of Andrew Teft in that number 98 machine as they cross the line to work lap number 29 as they have 28 laps in the book. Matt Mettler is doing a phenomenal job in that 311 machine, trying to get... There we go. Trying to get Steve Sizemore in that 08 machine as you see him pounding the back end here of Steve Sizemore as he's trying to push him towards the front of this field, but they just keep dying out right about that number 57 of Aaron Roth. So he is not making much movement here just yet.
And did you see that move out of that Kentucky Fried Chicken mobile back there?
I did not.
He got a really good run, found a hole, and shoved that thing down there. I mean, you couldn't have fit a piece of paper between him and the guy behind him.
Absolutely. While we are under this nice green flag run here as we are working lap number 30, we want to give a quick shout out to Mercatees.com, Speed Zone Race Control, Chantel. Oh, trouble in the back! The 57 of Aaron Roth is involved. The number 1 of, I think that was Steve Castle involved. Andrew Teft involved here once again. That's not what he needed, as that means he will not be getting that lucky dog position. As we see Jonathan Stidham make his way here to his crew. Steve Castle, he's going to go ahead and continue to drive around here. Matt Mettler in that number 311 machine, all torn up. Let's come back here, take a look, see what happened. Oh, that looked like a bad push gone wrong.
Um, I, I can't say it's a bad push. I think Matt just got arrow loose there. I don't even think the 98 gave him a push.
Night. Oof. Yeah, maybe. Man. Oh, yeah, let's come back here and... Yeah, he got arrow loose and...
And Andrew Tift with his left wheel cocked to the right, still not a meatball flag.
Fascinating. So let's come back here to Steve Castle. Oh, that was after the incident. Well, that's still after the incident. Very unfortunate there for those drivers. But this is really good news here for Robert Garcia and Truth Hope. Now they're able to come down pit road with everybody else, get 4 fresh Goodyears and fuel. And while we are under discussion, we're going to step away here for a very quick commercial break. Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen. And while we were away, something happened. Something happened here with Kensley Smith. Not exactly sure what, but it says that he went off track. Shifted down the wrong way. Whoops. That happens. But we are doubling up here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get ready to go back green flag racing. Stephen Luttrell, Joe Bonner will be making up that front row with Terry Funnel and Ryan Warp right behind them. As they make their way out of turn number 4. The iRacing.com pace truck going to pull himself off the track now. And now it is in the hands of Stephen Luttrell. And the green flag waves right here once again at Daytona on the Racers Elite Network. Once again, that inside lane gets going to a really good start. Joe Bonner currently kind of stuck to that outside, as he's going to squeeze himself down behind Terry Fennell and in front of Truth Oak. As these guys are quickly trying to get themselves back into single file formation. But as of right now, we got those 3 cars on the outside there of Kensley Smith, Brett Bray, and I believe that's, Jack Kelly in that number 36. And Kensley Smith, he gets stuck all the way to the outside thanks to Steve Sizemore. But Steve Sizemore, he goes back down to the inside. And now they're going to run double wide here once again. Coming through the tri-oval, as you see Jack Kelly dive to the inside there to get behind the 08 of Sizemore. And now that number 6 has help from behind from Kensley Smith. So let's see how far Kensley Smith can push Brett Bray in that number 6 to the front. And now they're starting to make a little bit of movement now on that outside lane, but Kirby Wainscott in that 10 is just a little bit too far back at the moment, so he is not able to he's not able to do anything on that outside lane. And Matt Mettler, he's staying pretty far back from that 57 machine. There he goes. Now they're starting to get themselves sorted out. And now we just got Brett Bray in that 6 all to his lonesome self on the outside. And he's going to drop down behind that 7-Eleven of Trevor Fettig. But now we are single file here once again throughout the entire field. Well, so far this has been a pretty quiet race. You know, the couple incidents that we did have, you know, that last one definitely was you know, from aero, you know, just getting aero loose.
Which is, you know, it's really hard for that to happen in these cars, but they
Yes.
do happen. And then once these things get loose, it's almost impossible to save it, because just the slightest bit of right turn and it just whips the car straight towards the wall, unfortunately.
Sorry about that. I'm trying to do this and watch the kiddos at the same time. But yeah, these...
Well,
Go ahead.
we're almost halfway in this thing. Got about another lap or two before we reach halfway. Only 2 cautions on the day so far. And your pole sitter currently back out to the lead, Stephen Luttrell. Gonna have Terry Fennell, your current biggest mover, up 16 positions behind him in that 50 machine. He's been having a wonderful day as well. Just unfortunately, a couple of cars caught in some in a bad way here. 2 cars trapped a lap down. 17 16 currently on the lead lap, but the 17th car is back there with the lap down cars with a lot of damage.
Yeah. But Terry Fennell in that Grizzly pouch number 50 machine, he's doing a fantastic job here today. Let's see.
Try to find something out real quick, so give me one moment here.
Yeah. Now I'm actually jumping back here with Steve Castle in that one machine. He's currently back here drafting with that 42 machine of Jonathan Stidham and the lap down car of... So Steve Castle is back here drafting with Andrew Teft and that 42 of Jonathan Stidham. So Andrew Teft was able to get some of that front wheel damage fixed that he had from that previous caution.
Yeah, I think your OBS correct. Oh, did you get it?
Yep, I got it.
Alright, I'll be right back again.
As we see the 13 machine of Robert Garcia, I'm sorry, not the 13, the 08, Steve Sizemore trying to go to the outside. But nobody is wanting to work with him, so he's going to fall all the way back towards the back of this field until he gets to probably just about Brett Bray in that 6 machine, who is also running that outside lane, as we have crossed over into the halfway point of this race. So 100 miles down, 100 to go. Alrighty. So still single file here as these guys are working lap number 43. You know, as I was saying, but right before that other caution, or that last caution came out, we wanted to give a couple of shout outs. We want to give it a shout out to Speed Zone Race Control, Chantel Pottle. She is a race control for Racers Elite, and she does a fantastic job out there trying to make the tough calls that we don't want to be making. And well, that's putting the blame on who caused the incident. Definitely really hard there. Want to give iRacing a big shout out for giving us a place to call home where we can get all of our racing fix. If you guys would like to check out iRacing, just head over to iRacing.com. AmericaTees.com. We want to thank them so very much for sponsoring Racers Elite. Head over to AmericaTees.com for some pretty cool looking shirts, funny shirts, America shirt. So make sure you guys go check them out. And if you use, I believe if you still use Run Over at checkout, I believe you still get a 10% discount, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it is a 10% discount on that. And we also want to give a shout out to Whiplash Sim Cams for giving us all the beautiful views we get to see here today at Daytona and here on Racers Elite Network. As you see the field coming out of turn number 2, coming down this very long straightaway. As it looks like we do got some movement happening a little bit back here in the back. No, there you go, back single file. So,
Well, I did get word the field run is about 35 laps, but currently everyone should be sitting, I don't know, about 20 to 25 here. So I don't think they're going to be able to stretch it to the end, but it does open up a little bit of options to play around with coming to the final pit stop here.
all right.
Looks like Kinsley Smith hopping up to the outside. Going to have two other cars following him up there, trying to get something going here. See if you can get a little bit of a run to work his way back towards the front of this thing. Looks like Kirby Wayne Scott and that 06 machine going to be helping him here. I believe that's the 06, 08 machine, Steve Sizemore. My bad.
Yep, it's all right. I do it all the time too.
And they are making some progress with only 3 cars here at the moment. Potentially some fuel saving going on throughout the field here to try to lessen the fuel load you have to take on this last restart.
Yeah, we're just about 3, maybe 4 laps away from 30 laps to go. So we're definitely inching closer and closer to the end of this fuel run, and it'll open up the it will open up the rest of this fuel, to get to the end.
And I did get a little bit of word from Matt Mettler about that last caution there. He said that he blipped the throttle and it felt like the whole rear of the car just floated in the air, and just unfortunately it sent him around there.
Oh wow.
Said he's never felt anything like that in this car before. Kinsley Smith's around 16 into the wall.
The 6 involved here as well. And right there, that's going to bring out our caution. And how many laps did you say these guys can get?
I believe about 35.
All right, so they're going to be fine to come on down pit road. Kirby Wayne Scott in that number 10 machine, he was involved here as well.
Who's in that 16 machine? Oh, that's Mike Fudge in the 2 car. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so Mike Fudge got into him, and as we're looking here at Kirby Wayne Scott doing a pirouette. There he goes. The 6th machine. That curbing or that banking really gets to you sometimes there. Let's come back here to... Man, that 15 machine just absolutely quickly whipped around on him. Like, he had, no time to react on that one.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, these cars, you're able to keep them on the bottom here. You don't necessarily have to slide up the track when the tires get wore down like that. So that's the second incident involving someone kind of sliding up the track. Not sure what's going on. If maybe it's the setup or they're having a little bit ill handling cars. But typically, you can keep this thing planted on the bottom through a full run here.
Yeah.
But potentially a chance of people be able to save fuel and make it to the end here now. So that's interesting.
Yeah. So the first car a lap down, I believe, was that 57 machine of Aaron Roth out of Milford, Nebraska.
Looks like Andrew Ted's going to be staying out to try to get a wave around here. All right, your race winner off of pit road is going to be Steven Luttrell, followed by Truth Hoke in that 55 machine. Steven going to be looking to get some help from Terry Fennell in the 50, and Joe Bonner looking to help Truth Hoke on that outside lane. And these drivers should be getting double fouled back up here momentarily. And quite a bit of people, still got a faster pair left if anything it was to happen. But we're going to be looking at about a chance at some fuel saving action. Might even see some people come back down the pit road here, top up on fuel again just to try to stretch it. Looks like Stephen Luttrell going to be one of the takers to come back down pit road, top up on fuel. Again, Andrew Tift going to be going and getting a wave around here, so it's going to put him one lap down. True Toke will be taking over the lead. Terry Fennell looking to start on his outside. That's going to put Blake Veekin up to third, I believe. Nope, that's going to put Joe Bonner in the third, Blake Veekin fourth here. All right, these drivers are double fouled back up this time. Pace lights are off on the pace truck, so next time by we will be going green flag racing. And with a lot of people coming down the pits, we're going to see something kind of funny. It's going to be single file almost here on the restart for a lot of these cars, as everyone's going to be kind of stuck on the inside. Those outside lanes are really going to have to hope for a very good restart. They're going to fall a long ways back here. Alrighty. Well, we are getting ready to go green flag racing. Pace truck should be pulling off here momentarily. It's going to be Truth Hoke leading us back to the green, deciding when to go in the box. Now you see the pace truck pulling off now. Truth Hoke coming to the box. It's going to be the one to get on the loud pedal. And we are green flag racing as he goes very early here. Outside lane holding pretty strong though, but only about not that many cars up there. Blake Veekin forcing his way down to the inside lane. That's going to lead the 50 of Terry Fennell up there to kind of fend for himself as everyone's single filed out behind him. But now they're going to be able to spread out as we finally cross the start-finish line.
Yeah, Terry Fennell almost got turned there on that restart, trying to get back down with onto that inside, but nobody was giving him any room. And now he's fallen from second all the way back to eighth for the moment, as he will have help out of that number 13 of Robert Garcia and the 42 of Jonathan Stidham.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys did come back down and take more fuel there, so we had a really long line on that inside lane. Again, Andrew Tift did take a wave around, so he is currently one lap down, but battling Steve Castle here for a chance to get the Lucky Dog.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something here to watch, as Steve Castle, he does currently have it. But with all that damage that Andrew Tift has in that number 98 machine, he has lost the field. As the field comes down the back straightaway, you've got Fennell in that number 50 trying to come back strong, as he's got about 6 car help. As you see Steve Sizemore jump up for a second to slow their momentum. I'm not sure if he's going to decide to go with him or not. Yeah, he's going to go with him now out of turn number 4. So now Steve Sizemore, he's looking to make a run on the outside of Blake Veekin, as they will run side by side heading down towards turn number 1.
Only 27 laps left to go, so everyone should theoretically be able to make it on fuel here.
Yeah, Everybody should be able to make it, absolutely. As you see, Joe Bonner kind of getting squirrely there out of turn number 2, but he's able to hold on to it. As you now have Steve Sizemore working on the outside of Truth Hoke here for the race lead heading into turn number 3, as he's got a lot of help behind him from 7 other cars.
And they're definitely getting racy, and the aggression level is starting to go up here.
Whoa! Sorry about that. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are not exactly sure what happened there, but it looked like somebody was about to get turned, and everybody was able to hold on to it. But now that 13 machine on the outside getting pushed from the 38 of Jack Kelly coming around the outside. Now he's going to run side by side with Truth Hoke in that 55 machine. As that 13, he's still got a good 6 cars behind him helping him on that outside lane. So that outside lane is not done yet, as they are starting to make their way up next to Terry Fennell in that number 50 machine. Sizemore, he's going to go up and block that momentum from the 13, but that opened up the door for Terry Fennell to get onto the inside of Sizemore.
13's loose.
Oh, and we got huge trouble. The 11 is around.
Big wreck.
Huge wreck. Jack Kelly's front end all the way destroyed, and Blake Beacon gets side blinded, yeah, by that 42 machine of Jonathan Stidham. Huge hits here on the back straightaway. Oof.
And Steve Castle went hard into that inside wall as well. Like, holy, looked like he shot out of a jet engine. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, looking here first with that number 11 of Joe Bonner coming out of turn number 2. Let's see. Oh, the 13, he got hit by the 38. Then the 38, he checked up, and then that's just all she wrote from there.
That was Jack Kelly, not Steve Castle, my bad.
Steven Luttrell involved here as well. Now let's head back and look at Blake Beacon. What a save by Blake Beacon. Oh, never mind. Jonathan Stidham came back and down and tagged him. And now let's go back here and take a look here at Jack Kelly.
Downey, I think he was trying to send a rocket to the moon in that 38 machine going towards that inside wall.
Oh! Nasty hit. And then Jonathan Stidham just trying to slow down, get around it. And then Blake Beacon was just coming right back up and had, man, I feel for that, for Jonathan Stidham. Let's right on board with Jonathan Stidham here. Man, he did everything right. Oh. Wrong place at the wrong time. Well, that's going to put Steve Sizemore in that 08 machine out front. With Terry Fennell in that 50 machine right behind him.
Hey, what do you say we run a quick ad right quick while we're under caution? We gotta...
Yeah, gonna run a real quick ad here for them. welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Daytona, as these drivers are coming down the back straightaway as we are going to get ready to go back green flag racing with just about 21 laps to go, I believe it is. So we are in for a shootout here at Daytona, and so far what we've seen, things are starting to get spicy up here in Racers Elite, as the racing is starting to get a lot closer, a lot tighter, and these drivers are starting to make more mistakes. So all these drivers have to be paying close attention to how all this is going to go down.
Yep, pace truck is pulling off this time. Steve Sizemore going to be the leading us back to green in the box here. And that 08 machine, Terry Fennell to his outside. And Steve launching out of there like a cannon as he gets out to a pretty decent lead. It looks like, I believe, True Token, that 55 machine, going to be side by side with the 50. But Steve hops up to the outside to help that 50 machine of Terry Fennell. It looked like the 13 tried to drive down in behind him as well, but didn't have quite enough room, so kind of left up there to the top, but does have about 3 to 4 cars behind him.
Yeah, look at that 13 of Robert Garcia, the newcomer here to Racer Elite. He's looking to try to come up alongside third place at 55 of Truth Hoke, but not able to get there just yet. But he's still got a lot of help from behind from Brett Bray in that number 6 machine, as the 7-11 of Trevor Fettig. I think he was thinking about going 3 wide there for a hot second as they come through the tri-oval now. And now they are getting one hell of a run on the outside there. Excuse my language, but man, that was a big run. Oh, hold on. Easy. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're talking about. With 20 laps to go, the pushes are getting harder and the shoving is getting a lot worse as they make their way down the back straightaway here. That outside lane falling all the way now back to that 5th spot, as the 6 machine of Brett Bray, he's making it 3 wide on the outside. But the 311 of Matt Metler, he is staying right behind newcomer Garcia as they continue to run side by side right for just about that 7th spot now, as they are looking to now start making their way back up towards the front of this field with 19 laps to go.
And honestly, no offense to Matt here, but it's probably going to be beneficial if he drops to the back of that outside line, because he is having a little bit of connectivity issue, and that's going to hold them up, because they're not going to be able to really push him as good.
Now that outside lane is now back up to Truth Hoke in that number 55 machine, as they are making their way back into the tri-oval here. And now he's up alongside Terry Fennell for that 2nd spot. As you see, Steve Sizemore, he gets put into the wall. And now we're going to probably have a huge crash here into turn 1. No, they were able to hold on to it. Good heads up driving by everybody there on that issue, as Steve Sizemore went up to block that high side from making that good momentum, as he is now in front of that number 13 machine heading up here into turn number 3. Now, will Garcia remember that from Steve Sizemore later on in this race as the laps start to wind down? Is he going to shove him out of the way and push him to the outside, or will he allow him to think he's keeping the momentum and run to the inside? Once again, Steve Sizemore trying to block, but that was a very late block, and that's going to allow the 13 of Garcia to get back alongside of him. But just like that, he had to get off the gas to avoid hitting Sizemore. So Sizemore here late in this run with 17 laps to go, he is making very huge blocking chances here, and this is not looking very well for that outside lane. But now Garcia, he will take over the race here on the back straightaway. He's going to get down in front of Sizemore, and now Matt Mettler is getting a shove from Kensley Smith on the outside, and here comes Matt Mettler to the outside. Matt Mettler looking to lead this lap here at Daytona as he will clear Garcia. And now he's going to go down, and Kensley Smith is going to make a run on the outside. And now that's once again going to put that 13 machine back in that 5th spot. Kensley Smith takes the race lead. This time he's going to wait for Joe Bonner to come down with him. And now they're going to get in front of Matt Mettler in that 311. And now that's how they're going to run coming down the back straightaway. But that outside lane is not done yet, being led by Brett Bray and Blake Viken as they continue to make their run up here into turn number 3. Now let's see what kind of run that outside lane can get this time. But right now it's Joe Bonner pushing Kensley Smith in that number 15 machine as they make their way down into the tri-oval here once again. There we go. That outside lane dissipating, and it's dissipating quick. So Brett Bray, Blake Viken, that 57 of Aaron Roth, all losing all those positions. And now they find themselves back in the 11th spot and back here coming to 14 laps to go here. As Blake Viken, he decides to leave the 6 to the outside as there is trouble. The 55 of Truth Hoke is around. Steve Castle barely making it through. As Jonathan Stidham, he is into the inside wall here, out of the tri-oval and into the exit of the infield road course. Let's come back here and take a look and see what happened. Oh, there was just a really big checkup in front. And Truth Hoke, I think he was trying to get back down in front of Stidham, but definitely was not clear. He came down right in front of Viken. So Blake Viken, he turns Truth Hoke, and that 42 is trying and trying and trying. But then he finally loses it as he heads down here towards the inside wall. And he stays off of it. But let's ride on board with Steve Castle in that number 1 machine. Oh, wrong button.
Buddy. That man's gonna need a Coca-Cola and a change of pants after that one.
Oh, man. How did he get through? Alright, guys, we are back live again.
You know, man, you asked him who was going to win this race earlier, right? I can't give you a name, but, I think it's going to be whoever could dodge these wrecks in the next 10 laps and cross the line here, because things are getting a little spicier than what we normally see here on the Racers Elite. It seems like a lot of aggression out of some of these drivers this week.
Yeah. So this is my choice to win this race, okay? And he's got a very long name, so just bear with me here. Kensley Smith, Joe Bonner, Matt Mettler, Robert Garcia, Steve Sizemore, Terry Fennell, Ryan Work, Kirby Wade Scott, Trevor Fensick, Stephen Luttrell, Truth Hope, Blake Viken, Brett Bray, Aaron Roth. I don't know who's going to win this race, okay?
I'm gonna give it to Matt. I think I'm gonna actually give him a little confidence and say he can win this thing.
Yeah, Matt Mettler in that number 311 Monster Energy Beast Machine.
So I did get word from race control that last incident is going to be considered a racing deal as there was a huge checkup. So no one getting an ELL for that, but a lot of people in the pits getting damage fixed here. And we're going to be going back green with, I believe, 10 laps to go, possibly even 9 here. So not a lot of time.
Yeah, definitely not a lot of time left whatsoever, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this is all going to play out, as we will come down to get the one to go signal from our wonderful flagman on top of the booth.
Well, I say not a lot of time, but 9 laps here is like an eternity. Like, especially in official lobbies, you're sitting there like, oh god, I gotta make it. I'm so close. I can make it. I can make it. And then boom, right to the wall. All right, driver should be getting double fouled this time. So Kinsley Smith to the inside, most likely. Joe Bonner going to be restarting on that outside. It actually looks like Kinsley Smith might be taking the outside here. Have to double check on that. I'd be the first person to restart on the outside this race from the lead. So that's definitely going to be an interesting choice here.
Yeah, definitely going to be very interesting indeed, as we get ready to go back green flag racing with probably just about 10 laps to go. Let me check here. Oh, it doesn't give me how many laps left. But regardless, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, things are about to get spicy here on the Racers Elite Network, bud, as that outside lane is going to have control in the restart zone.
Yeah, that is right. Kenley Smith, Joe Bonner going to bring the field to the green flag, as the green flag waves here. 10 laps to go here for the Racers Elite, as you see Matt Mettler actually moving up the track, and that kind of checks up that inside lane a little bit, as Robert Garcia pushes his way down in front of Matt Mettler, and that's going to put Garcia now in that third spot. But now you've got Fennell, you've got Wayne Scott, you got Luttrell, all on that outside lane as they make their way out of turn number 2.
Oh, God.
Oh, big movements. Hold on to it, boys. This is when you know things are getting real. Terry Fennell getting left alone. Oh, that 57 is all over the track. It looked like he was tail slapping that number 57 machine.
Sorry for laughing. I heard a funny comment over the radio. That was my bad.
Hold on to it, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Mettler, he's on the outside, getting a good push now from Kirby Wayne Scott. And could our newcomer in that number 13 of Robert Garcia take over the race win, as Matt Mettler is up into the wall? He's going to fall all the way back to the back end of this field. Well, there goes Matt Mettler's chance of winning this race. No, Steve Sizemore, he's working on the outside. And now you got Kesley Smith going up for the block. And that's going to put Steve Sizemore 3 wide here for the race lead. 3 wide at the line for the race lead. If this was the final lap, it would have gone to Kesley Smith. But now, Sizemore, that 08 machine, he's dropping all the way to the back. Matt Mettler, he has lost the draft now. And now it's between the 11 of Joe Bonner and Kesley Smith now for the race lead. Oh, we got trouble in the back. Steve Sizemore was getting loose, and Trevor Fenton kept him straight. But now everybody is losing that momentum on the outside. Kesley Smith, he is currently out front, followed by Kirby Wainscott, Steven Luttrell, Joe Bonner, and Robert Garcia as your top 5 for the moment, as things are starting to get a lot more dicier here as we have drivers trying to find out where they want to be. The 11 of Joe Bonner slowing that outside lane's momentum. He drips it back down to that 4th spot. The 13, he's thinking about going high. And so does Joe Bonner in that 11 machine. But right now, that outside lane is not together. So this is going to hurt their momentum here with 7 laps to go coming down the back straightaway. And now the 13 and Joe Bonner are all left alone to their devices on the outside, not able to get down. And so these guys are going to drop towards the back of this little pack here, as it looks like we've got Steve Sizemore once again. Is it? Yeah, Steve Sizemore coming up to help Robert Garcia, as they are going to try to make their way back towards the front here from that 10th spot. Not able to do it. Sizemore goes back to the inside. 6 laps to go here at Daytona. Kesley Smith, Kirby Wainscott, Steven Luttrell, they are all coming down the back straightaway, single file. Blake Beacon in that 5th spot. And Ryan Warp in that number 45. He snuck his way up here into the 4th spot. Did not see that happening. With that number 45, we have trouble in the back. Joe Bonner turned around. He hits the outside wall. No caution. Let's go back here and take a quick look, see what happened before we get too far into this. And it looked like he tried to come down, and Joe Bonner hard into the outside wall. Still green flag here at Daytona with 5 laps to go. Everybody, this is still anybody's race. Kesley Smith, Kirby Wainscott, Steven Luttrell, Ryan Warp, Blake Beacon, Truth Hoke, Terry Fennell, Brett Bray, all here in striking distance of the race lead. Looks like the guys in the back, they're trying to start to try to make something happen on that inside, but that outside, but not able to do anything with it just yet. As we have, who is that there? That's Truth Hoke in that number 55 making a run on the outside of Blake Beacon now. And he does have help from that number 50 of Terry Fennell, but no one else is up there really helping him at the moment, as they have pretty much 3.5 laps to go this time by. And now here he goes again. Truth Hoke back to the outside with Terry Fennell's help. They're going to try to make a run here. As you see, Truth Hoke get very arrow loose. That outside lane has to stack up a little bit. 3 laps to go this time by at the line. It is still anybody's race here in the top 9 here, 10. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't look away, as we still have a long way to go here. In just a short time, the 55 is around, and that's the caution. 55 is upside down.
Flipping very hard through 1 and 2.
That right there is going to bring out our caution and bring us into a green-white-checkered here at Daytona to end this race.
Go ahead and get your counter ready. We got to count these flips here.
Yeah, just once again, it seems like it was that arrow loose that we were talking about. And just the momentum of the hit to the wall and the 50 on his tail end lifted the back end of the 55 up as he flips over once, twice, up onto the wall 3 times. Okay, that's 2.5. And okay, so he goes over 2.5 because he rolled back.
Count that as 3 myself, but I got you.
Definitely very heartbreaking there for Truth Hoke in that number 55. He was looking for a good, strong, promising finish here at Daytona, but once again, his day will come to an end early, but this time he will do it upside down. Well, dang. Kensley Smith.
Well, for anyone. Oh,
Yeah, Kensley Smith, Kirby Wainscott, Stephen Luttrell, Ryan Warp, Blake Beacon is your top 5. Take your pick. As the race leader, who do you want behind you?
Kingsley Smith.
Well, you're the race
Oh,
you're the race leader, so I mean, it's either going to be Stephen Luttrell or Ryan Warp. Who do you got?
if I'm the race leader here in the 15, I'm going to restart on the outside, get a run, drop down in front of my teammate Kinsley Smith in that 10 machine. Well,
Kirby
semi
Wainscott.
teammate. Yeah, that's
Kirby
what I meant.
Wainscott.
Sorry, Kirby Wainscott. Sorry, getting a little tired over here, bud. A little tired.
It's all right.
But yeah, I'm gonna try to hop in front of that 10 machine and use him because they do work together quite often. Technically not teammates, but they consider each other teammates, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, you also can't go wrong with that 36 behind you either.
Oh yeah, that is very true. Stephen Luttrell. I don't know what he's done this season through all the series, but it's like he's just flipped the switch and said, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to be a contender." And I mean, he's definitely showing up and proving himself here. Around Warp, also a very good pusher. So I mean, you really can't go wrong either way. But
Yeah, definitely can't go wrong either way. I'm assuming you got quiet because race control.
no, sir. I'm just
Okay.
excited to see what happens here.
Yeah. Alright, so these guys, they do have 3 chances to finish this race under green flag. Alright, we are back live. Coming at you once again from Daytona as these cars are going to go ahead and double up here for hopefully what is the final restart of this race. But Kensley Smith, he'll choose the outside of with Ryan Warp. And Wayne Scott, he's going to be on the inside with Stephen Luttrell behind him. Yep. I mean, that very well could happen. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier to get a good jump behind the race leader versus being beside the race leader. So, So if he's going to want to get down, what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to hit the gas, get past the start-finish line, and then quickly get down to the bottom. But he's got to be careful and not drop until he passes that start-finish line. Because if he does, that's going to be a drive-through penalty. Yeah, big shout out to Epic Fails Motorsports. They're running this current race that's racing right now in the LMP2. And they're going to go back at it again first thing in the morning. I think they're going to go back into the LMP2. So definitely good luck to everybody. And we are green flag. Kensley Smith gets a good jump. He's going to drop down in front of the 10 machine just as we thought, leaving the 45 all to his lonesome self on the outside lane. And now here comes that 36 pushing the 10 right there on the back bumper of the 15 as they make contact coming here through turns 1 and 2. The 45 quickly falling back on that outside lane. Now he finally gets some help, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time or momentum to get to the outside lane. Blake Beacon in that number 18, he's going to drift high, and that's going to bring up that 08 Steve Sizemore alongside Blake Beacon. But now that outside lane has enough cars to start making some sort of movement on the outside lane. No, Sizemore goes up and slows up that outside lane once again. And now he's going to take it. White flag is out here at Daytona. Kensley Smith, Kirby Wayne Scott, Steve Luttrell lead this field here into turn number 1 for the final time here at Daytona. Trouble behind him. Big, huge wreck behind him. Everybody behind is involved, and now we got 4 cars. Kensley Smith, Kirby Wayne Scott, Steve Luttrell, Aaron Roth. One of these 4 drivers are going to win it here at Daytona. When do you go? That's going to... Yeah. That 57, he's going to go. The 10. Kirby Wayne Scott looking for the run on the outside, as he is looking for it. The race win here at the line. It is going to be Kirby Wayne Scott in the number 10 taking it home first. Aaron Roth will bring it home second. Kensley Smith will bring it home third. Yep. Yeah, definitely a lot more aggression as you see Blake Beacon in that number 18 machine all tore up. He's still trying to lug it around the track. But at this pace, I don't think he's going to have enough time to cross it. But ladies and gentlemen, your race winner, Kirby Wayne Scott, driver of that KFC number 10 Toyota out of Sparta, Kentucky. He will win it right here at Daytona with a last lap pass coming out of turn number 4. All right. A little bit of love between Kirby Wayne Scott and Kensley Smith. And let's go back and see if we can see what happened here. Now, let's back it up just a tad. Yeah, bump gone wrong in the corner. Beacon right all over the back bumper of the 08. The 08 comes down a little bit, gets into him. Up into the air goes Steve Sizemore. Oh man, the 2 of Mike Fudge is involved here. The 6 tries to get through, but has absolutely nowhere to go. But where did Blake Beacon get all that damage? Up. I think Blake Beacon's going to have the same thoughts as me when he sees this. It looks like, yeah, the 13 of Robert Garcia involved here as well. Yeah. But incredible, incredible run all the way around. So before we get down to it, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take a look here at our race results. Your race winner, Kirby Wayne Scott, in that number 10 machine. Aaron Roth will come home second. Kensley Smith will come home third. Fourth is going to be Jonathan Stidham. Fifth, Stephen Luttrell. Trevor Fetzig, Brett Bray, Ryan Warp, Steve Castle, Steve Sizemore will round out your top 10. 11th is going to be Blake Beacon. Terry Fennell will come home 12th. 13th is going to be Andrew Teft. 14th, Mike Fudge. Joe Bonner will come home 15th, followed by Truth Oak. Matt Mettler, Jack Kelly will round out your top 18. And I think we're missing one driver in there. Steve Sizemore, he's in 10th. No, Robert Garcia, he's missing from here. He's actually 10th. Interesting. But we went for a total of 83 laps for 205 miles. Your hard charger was your third place runner-up, Kensley Smith, up 13 spots. Stephen Luttrell in the 36, he led the most laps. And your fastest lap was Chicken Coops Racing's very own Kirby Wayne Scott. And Stephen Luttrell, he started on the pole. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and talk with our top 3 finishers for today here at Daytona. And let's start off with your third place runner up, Kensley Smith, driver of that number 15 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. Kensley, it's Mike and Dakota up in the booth. You got a copy?
How's it going?
It is going, Kensley. Once again, you're the biggest mover here on the Full Send Super Speedway Series. Up 13 spots from where you started. Talk us through that last or that Green-White-Checkered that you experienced, and man, what did you need to do different to stop Kirby Wayne Scott and Aaron Roth from getting around you?
I mean, I could have probably went up and blocked Kirby, but there was probably a big chance of wrecking everybody that was left there at the end. So I just kind of stuck with it and stayed on the bottom and just tried to fight as much as I could there with just me and Latrell. But I mean, yeah, like I could have went up and blocked, but at the end of the day, like third is better than last or DNFing because I can't make it to the start finish line. So I think it was a fine day.
Yeah, so of course, always thinking about points, and that's what a true champion always does. That final restart, it went pretty well. You got down in front of Kirby, and that's all she wrote for that. But man, just what an incredible run for you here today. Dakota, do you have any questions for Kensley?
Man, I felt like I was watching WWE, and I just heard John Cena say ruthless aggression as the aggression level picked up this week, and I'm all for it. Don't get me wrong, but how do you feel about the aggression this week so far?
Um, I mean, there's certain aggressors, and I mean, it'll weed itself out. It's not always good to constantly have aggression in every single race on every single lap. So, I mean, I think we had a new guy in here and he did pretty good. So I think just weeding out that aggression will probably be the best thing for this series. But I mean, it wasn't too aggressive at the early parts. Everybody was trying to stay single filed and stuff like that. And we all know when it comes to these races, once you start getting towards the end, it'll get a lot more aggressive. I think it was just kind of some guys not really being able to hold their line as well, and um, just making dumb decisions and dumb moves, and they'll learn. That's all I got to say is they'll learn. They'll learn when to change the aggression and turn it up, turn it down, and figure out where their place is.
Yeah, if I learned anything about super speedways, the only lap you need to be aggressive on is the last lap, and I mean, that's my opinion. As you know, it's a very long race. There's no point in really pushing to get towards the front. And, you know, the first 40 to 60 laps there, you want to work your way up towards the front. You know, coming to the final 20, and then really push your luck there on the last lap.
Yeah, I know some guys they think being at the front will keep you out of stuff that's going on in the back, but I mean, really, it's all about where you put your car is what's going to keep you out of stuff. Not putting yourself in dumb situations and putting yourself somewhere where you shouldn't. So, um, I guess that's what those people need to learn is it's not always about being at level 100 all the time. It's about being thoughtful about what you're doing.
Well, fair enough, but congratulations on the third place. Or anyone you want to thank or shout out for having to get the job done tonight, man?
Of course, you guys in the booth, as always, every week, you're doing a great job. Love watching them. Family loves watching them, so that's always a plus. And then of course Andrew, he had a rough race tonight, but uh, everybody in the league appreciates for what he does and all the races that he puts on for us. And I think Saturday's the only off day for him, basically. So, and even then, he's runs special events on Saturday sometimes. So, thank you to Andrew for everything he does. Um, of course, Kirby tonight, pushing me there at the end, and was running with Chicken Coop tonight because I didn't have any of my teammates with me. So, thank you for to Kirby and the rest of the Chicken Coop guys, and of course my wife and my daughter for supporting me and letting me do this on a Friday night.
Alrighty, man. Well, we look forward to seeing you again next week up here. And again, congratulations on your P3 finish. I'm going to bring you back down to the waiting room, sir.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your third place runner-up, Kensley Smith, driver of that number 15 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. Let's go ahead and bring up the number 57, the iCats driver, Aaron Roth. Aaron, it's Mike and Dakota up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Man, Aaron, what a incredible run for you today. You made a really big move there. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. So we do got Aaron Roth. Aaron, again, what a good run for you. Got a good run coming out of turn 4. Pushed Kirby Wainscott to the race win, and you got yourself up to second. Talk us through the final 2 laps there, and just what was going through your head when you're going through turns 3 and 4 before you made your move. Yeah, so I mean that's still a really good day for you. I know you struggled just a little bit here on the super speedways, but man, it's I think this is our second time now talking to you this season. So far, I mean, you're performing very, very well. So definitely keep it up. Um, yeah, just keep up the great work in that number 57. Dakota, do you got any questions for Aaron? Awesome. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that's driver that number 57 I Cats machine, Aaron Roth, coming home second. Let's bring up Chicken Coops Racing's KFC driver, the number 10, Kirby Wayne Scott. Kirby, it's Mike and Dakota up in the booth. You got a copy. Kirby. What a way to finish a crazy day here at Daytona. Uh, what was your mindset, on that restart? And then talk us through what was going through your mind coming through turns 3 and 4 on the final lap. Yeah, definitely a really good run for you. Next week, we are heading to the SRX cars over at Talladega. With you moving up 3 positions here in the standings, just about 15 points back from John, what is your game plan to going into next week in the SRX? Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing you there. Dakota, do you have any questions for Kirby?
Pushing that thing and it just won't overheat for most of the races I've seen with it. So, and they're pretty square, so it shouldn't be too hard for you to pick. You did gain quite a bit of spots here. Do you think you're going to be able to be in contention before the end of the season to win the championship?
Yeah, I definitely think I'm gonna be able to put myself in a position to battle for the championship. I don't know what's the what we got. SRX,
And then you got
and
a week
then
off, and then Xfinity at Echo Park.
Xfinity Echo Park. Those cars are a handful at Echo Park, although quite a bit of like most of the cars are kind of a handful at Echo Park. And then we got Daytona trucks. The trucks on super speedways are always a fun combination. Gen
Oh, yeah,
4
100%.
at Gen 4 on the iRacing super speedway, that'll be a lot of fun. And then Dega in the next gen. So yeah, I mean, I like my chances in all those as long as I can keep my nose clean, stay out of trouble. I think I'll have a shot.
Yeah, and you always seem pretty good at being able to do that. Is you kind of lurk in the back, as I like to call it, and find your way near the front towards the end if you are able to avoid everything. So I can definitely see that happening. But congratulations on your race win. Is there anyone I want to thank or shout out for helping you get the job done today?
Yeah, first things first, I'll give a shout out to the person that finished a couple spots behind me, Kinsley. He is the designer of that beautiful KFC machine I was rocking the night. So shout out to him. And he and I always do a good job working together at these super speedways. So definitely give a shout out to him. And if anybody wants a design, just look up KS Designs. And shout out to Andrew. Unfortunately, he didn't have the best. He got caught up in a wreck early and was kind of playing catch up all night and just got involved in another one, unfortunately for him. But shout out to him. He's always, I mean, he does an outstanding job running this league. This is, if anybody watching is wanting to join a league, definitely go at racerselite.com. It's all skill levels. I mean, we will always are willing to bring somebody in and teach them up, or if they're already fast, they can come in here and kick our butts and show us what we're doing wrong. So, but yeah, and then give a shout out to you guys in the booth. Because I was actually good here tonight, I'll definitely go back and watch this broadcast. Thank God it wasn't Sonoma, or of course, or a track where I got to turn right. Those are always dangerous for me. So, but yeah, shout out to you guys. Thanks.
And then I got one more question for you before we send you off here.
Yeah.
Typically, these cars don't get aero loose, but it seemed like there was quite a few cases of people getting aero loose tonight. Did you have any issues with that?
Yeah, I didn't really feel it. I mean, I have before in the past, but not tonight. So I don't know if I just didn't ever really put myself in that position. But like, nah, there was never a time where I felt uncomfortable at all.
Fair enough. Well, again, congratulations on the P1, and we'll let you go, sir.
All right, thanks guys, appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, your race winner, driver of that KFC number 10, Kirby Wayne Scott. Well, Dakota, what a incredible race today. What a finish. Next week, again, we're going to be heading out to Talladega Superspeedway with the SRX cars. Can't wait to have everybody join us there. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mike Taylor up here in the booth along my good friend, the Master of Chaos, Dakota LaRue. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, always remember, no matter what you do in life, have fun doing it. If it's not fun, you go and make it fun. And until next time, you guys have yourself a beautiful, fascinating time zones.